Thousands of years ago, being a woman meant facing challenges that grew from difficult to extreme. Think about your regular day. Your alarm rings early in the morning. Now imagine going through an entire day during a period without a bathroom, clean water, pain relief, privacy, or a change of clothes. For prehistoric women, this was not imagination. It was reality. For hundreds of thousands of years, women dealt with menstruation using only what nature provided around them. But here's the surprising part. Ancient women likely had far fewer periods than modern women do. Today, many women menstruate around 400 to 450 times throughout their lives. In prehistoric hunter-gatherer societies, researchers believe that number may have been closer to 50 or 100. The difference is massive, and it changes the way we understand ancient women's lives. One reason is that girls in prehistoric societies usually reached puberty much later. Modern girls often begin menstruating around age 12, but in ancient hunter-gatherer conditions, it may have happened closer to 16 or 17. Their bodies were leaner, food was less predictable, and daily life required constant physical activity. The reproductive system depends heavily on energy reserves, and ancient bodies often did not have the surplus needed for early puberty. Then came pregnancy. Without modern contraception, many women became pregnant shortly after their first menstrual cycles. Pregnancy itself stopped menstruation for months, and long-term breastfeeding often delayed it even further. In some traditional societies studied by anthropologists, mothers breastfed children for several years, sometimes many times throughout the day. This kept hormone levels high enough to suppress ovulation entirely. As a result, some women may have gone years between menstrual cycles. But when menstruation did happen, there were no commercial products designed for it. Women used whatever materials were available nearby. In wetter regions, absorbent moss was commonly used. In other places, women relied on grass fibers, bark, soft animal hides, or cloth-like plant materials. Some cultures used very little at all. And contrary to modern assumptions, menstruation was not always hidden or treated with shame. In many societies, menstruating women separated from regular daily activity for a short time. Anthropologists once assumed this meant exclusion or punishment, but evidence from several cultures suggests something more complex. Among some indigenous groups, menstruation was associated with spiritual significance or heightened energy. In places like the Bashali houses of the Kalasha people in Pakistan, women gathered together during menstruation, resting, talking, and temporarily stepping away from exhausting daily responsibilities. For women whose lives were filled with constant labor, it may have been one of the few socially accepted moments of rest. There is also one of the strangest theories in anthropology. In Africa, dating back over 100,000 years, researchers have found large amounts of red ochre, a natural pigment, on cave walls, tools, bones, and human remains. Some anthropologists, including Camilla Power and Chris Knight, suggest that red ochre may have been symbolically connected to menstruation. If correct, this could mean that some of humanity's earliest symbols were linked to menstruation and the female body. In other societies, like ancient Egypt, women may have used softened papyrus as an absorbent material. In medieval Europe, reusable cloth rags became common and were washed and reused over time. During World War I, nurses discovered that cellulose bandage materials absorbed blood far more effectively than cloth. This discovery eventually led to the first commercially produced disposable menstrual pads in the 1920s. In a short span of history, a biological process that had always been managed through natural materials became industrialized and packaged. Modern biology also shows how much has changed in reproductive patterns. Evolutionary biologists describe modern menstruation as an evolutionary mismatch. Ancient women spent much of their reproductive years either pregnant or breastfeeding, meaning ovulation happened far less frequently than it does today. Modern women now experience significantly more ovulation cycles across their lifetime. Each ovulation involves cell division in the ovaries, which increases the chance of genetic mutations. Researchers link this higher lifetime ovulation exposure to increased risks of ovarian and endometrial cancers. Interestingly, hormonal contraceptives reduce ovulation, which also lowers some of these risks by recreating a hormone pattern closer to ancestral conditions. For most of human history, menstruation was integrated into everyday life. Modern women have access to far greater comfort and convenience, but periods are often expected to remain invisible within the demands of daily life.